Magnus plays the Sicilian defense against one Maxime. Knight f3, knight c6, the Rossolimo with bishop b5, hitting the knight on the c6 square. Black plays knight f6, knight c3. And now Magnus employs this very provocative line where white is able to play the move e5, just walking into the center of the board, attacking the knight on f6. Not easy for the knight to jump to d5 or to e4. And obviously going to h5 is not particularly nice, but you actually have to do it or else you're going to risk having a severe disadvantage. Maxime clearly quite familiar with the dynamics of the position, getting a very nice thing going from the opening. It was actually Magnus who, after the move h3, spent 6 minutes. This was not him like arriving on time and then having to run to the toilet. He spent 6 minutes on this next move, which in rapid is wild. You know, he ended up going for knight d4. I think he was just trying to remember some stuff. And he gets a very strange little position like this, and MVL chooses the wrong path with queen a3. From the opening, it was all Magnus, good defense, putting his pieces all on very nice squares, this crazy dance backwards with the knight. And things were looking good. I mean, it was looking like we are heading for a 5.5 point score. And then from this point forward, where Magnus actually had his best position, I think he wasn't particularly happy with the literal isolated triple pawn. Like, the rarity of having tripled isolated d-pawns on an otherwise open board is certainly strange. And he only has 2 minutes to figure out this position. Now, what I don't understand here is the game review gives this a miss. I have absolutely no clue in the slightest why that is a miss. Maybe queen c7 was better attacking the knight, but this is given a miss. Doesn't really matter. But suddenly Magnus starts going a little bit wrong here and gets himself not only into a time trouble, you know, he gets himself into, in just a few moves, actually a losing position. It is +2 for Maxime after d4, bishop to f6, and now the incredible knight to h5, simply winning. The idea of knight h5 is, if black takes, you then take on e7, bishop e7, queen h5, and apparently black simply doesn't have the defenses to stop your queen and bishop from going to checkmate your king, because this rook and bishop are just standing around. Like, they have no way back into the position. Knight h5 here wins for white, apparently. Talk about that. MVL instead goes here, and then brings the knight back, and that's just not going to get it done. He allows Magnus enough time to bring back his pieces and stabilize, and Magnus, a little shaky on the first game of the day. You know, he does talk about playing in a flow, playing in a form, and it does not feel like it was there in this first game, which can only spell disaster in the World Rapid Championship, because anybody is capable of beating anybody else in this format. Now, we're going to get back to Magnus's day. He didn't. There were no cameras harmed after this round. This was simply a draw.